Hello, Guardians. It is Ebontis here, and guide for today is going to be the Concealed Void Lost Sector. We are over here in Europa, and it's chest day. So if you don't have your season of the chosen exotics yet, today is a good day to grind for those. Now, I've definitely had my issues with this Lost Sector in the past, but it should be a little more manageable just because we're getting a better feel for it. Some of the weapons we've got are pretty solid. Extra shields, match game, locked equipment. You've got barrier and overload champions. And then, of course, keep your feet on the ground. Arc damage coming in is going to hurt, but solar damage is the big one that's going to burn, basically because that's what the boss does. So, my loadout is going to be handling mostly barrier and overload champion focused. And then as for shields, you have this like mix. You're going to want void covered pretty frequently, or at least just enough, because there are void servitors that come up in the final boss fight and they will kind of continue to spawn. So they're going to make your life a little bit difficult if you can't handle them on a consistent basis. Hence, be it grenade or heavy, can be a little bit unreliable. There is going to be like one arc shielded captain, just one random guy sitting out there. So for this, I would advise just to make sure you guys have some type of arc damage. Break the shield once, make your life easy, not too bad. You're also going to have a couple heavy shanks that are going to have shields on them as well that are solar. Now, I'm also using this as my boss damage weapon, just because I've been having fun with rocket launchers this season. They hit pretty hard, and it's pretty fun. So, rocket launchers for the win there. I'm running with the Void Bow. I got a decent roll on this one. Seems actually pretty viable. Main reason is because you need overload and you need anti-barrier. So, anti-barrier, I've been enjoying the fact that we have snipers this season, so I'm going to use them as much as I can. Your other option for anti-barrier, of course, is Scout if you have one that you really like. As for overload, you can either go a bow or you can go submachine gun. Now, some people will say they like the Risk Runner submachine gun. It's not a bad option, just as kind of an issue if you come to the Void servitors. You're going to want to make sure you have something, maybe like a Bad Omens rocket launcher instead of what I'm using. It's also a viable option. It's not bad. So there's not a lot of any specific shield. There's probably the most void shields. But as for your subclass and your heavy, whichever one you don't use, then you'll probably have an alternative to the other two. If you are going to go solar for your subclass, I would say make sure you have a grenade that's going to like attach to something, or at least be able to hit it in the air, because the shanks float, and something like, for example, what I'd tend to use, like thermite grenade, wouldn't be good. I would probably have to switch over to fusion grenade so I could at least tag those heavy shanks. That's the general on the overload out. Again, check your reserves, check your scavengers, ammo finders, and all that stuff. Make sure you're all stocked up, and let's head inside. All right, so when you come in here, you'll have a couple of enemies sitting here first. Pretty simple ones. Couple shanks, couple drags will be floating around this first little area. Tag them. The overload captain's going to come pretty quick around that corner once things start showing up, so just be ready. Now, just for full disclosure's sake, I am running overload staggering rounds when it comes to my grenades, just because they're a bit more reliable. When that rocket goes off, it's fantastic. So this is the new perk, by the way, on Code Dwell, Lasting Impression. You see that I tagged him, takes a little while, but when it explodes, man, does it hit hard. So if you got one with Lasting Impression, don't throw it away. It's actually not too bad. The delayed reaction takes some getting used to, but I really kind of enjoy it. And for me, the bows are just a more reliable way to handle the overload champions than a submachine gun, because you got to continually fire the submachine gun. Literally just a fully drawn shot will work. Heavy shank is right over here. Tag him. And boom. So the delayed reaction is a bigger explosion, but it is, you got to kind of plan for the delay for sure. Alright, so once we come up here, we're going to have some enemies out ahead. If you can tag any before they really get too aware of you from this little section here, not a bad thing. There's our servitor. So you can get a couple shanks before they get to be shielded by Senior Servitor. It helps. You can have some drags in the back, so if you want to take those out from here, you can. Again, a couple of these guys. Makes your life a little easier. Now, half the time, I usually can't even get to them, so... And there's the one arc captain I was talking about. We'll work on him once we get over there a little farther. You could probably hit him with a rocket launcher. Sorry about the sneeze there, everybody. Just can't do anything about that one. But my advice is we're going to take care of the barrier servitor first over here. Tag him a few times. Notice the line. Notice how far this guy teleports around. It gets to be a little on the ridiculous side. Now, if I can kill a couple of these shanks so he's not getting shielded by most things, that's helpful. You are going to have these guys down here. Absolutely nothing you can do about them. I would throw a grenade, but just gets to be a bit annoying. But if I can get the grenade over here, there's a captain somewhere floating over there, unless he ran away. So, main piece, you just want to be ready with whatever you use on your servitor. So, if I'm going to go, say, sniper, I got to be able to actually shoot it until he teleports lower, which gets to be really frustrating. And granted, if you fall down here, just, you know, gather your thoughts, take a second, it'll be okay. I've fallen multiple times. It's just the servitor shielding gets really frustrating in my opinion, and there's not much one can do about it. So that's why this part is all about patience. Just trying to find your shot, trying to take out those few guys when they're not shielded. So then when you do get a chance, you're not dealing with quite as much. Now, typically what I like to do is just use my heavy, finish him up. Yeah, it's lasting, but he's still dead. So either way, if you hit him with a normal rocket launcher, should probably die. Also, my my grenade is back up now, so I should be able to hit this captain with a grenade over there. And if that doesn't want to work, I guess I'm going to have to go melee. Someplace he's going to actually die. Push him. As soon as you break the shield and can get to where you can finish him, just make sure you do. Now, I did see heavy ammo drop down here into the goo. I'm going to go for it just because I don't have that much right now. But if you see any drop and you can remember where it's at, try and grab it. That's, you know, a little bit of heavy is going to go a long way in here. We're going to have our heavy shank up top. Going to have a couple dregs down here. Again, same thing. It is going to be solar. Tag it. Stay in cover. This is a nice little place to actually get to it. I used a rocket launcher or a grenade launcher last season. Gave me a little better shot at it. So once we get over here, we're going to have an overload captain up there. Also, vandals up top. So watch for those. And then when you're ready, you can do one of two things. Either tag him. That is the thing about overload captains. If I like switch weapons, this one is probably the most annoying, I'll be completely honest. And this is why having your grenade backup for this lost sector specifically is going to be really helpful. I'm going to make sure the rocket doesn't actually kill me. Heavy on those guys is beneficial, and that's why the grenade is actually good. For some reason, that guy always seems a little buggy. Like, I could probably sit there and work him down with a bow. Probably doable. He has that little bit of room that he can hide, which gets a little frustrating. But the piece that I probably forgot to describe, surge detectors, and that's from the artifact. It allows you to stagger overload champions with arc grenades. And the pulse grenade or any arc grenade just seems to be a bit more reliable for whatever reason. I'm not saying I can't explain why, but it definitely does. Now here, you're going to have our wretch up here. I've got enough rockets at this point, but see if I can tag a few of them. Actually, not too bad. They have a little less health than you might think. Just don't jump, because then they definitely really will kill you. Alright, gather up some ammo. Should be in good shape. Make sure things are reloaded. And you're going to have a lot of shanks that spawn. It's also going to be one overload captain tucked over there to the left. So what you want to do is jump up here. Get the rest of the ads to spawn. I typically just pull back, literally reverse. Continuing to pick off the shanks. Usually it's a nice little fiery explosion. Then if I can find him, tag him. A little better than that. Now, this is what I mean by slowly working down an overload champion. Boring, might be slow, might take a little bit of damage, but you usually can manage just to do it this way. And this is why the bow's not bad, because you can do it from a decent amount of range. Try and strafe the shots, because these are going to hurt. A fully drawn shot's important. And then obviously, go for the finale. But something weird about a couple overload captains specifically, either the way they move, the way they get staggered and unstaggered, they tend to get a little frustrating, so that's why a bow is good for the reliability, but that grenade for the backup, especially on this lost sector, is a good idea to run. And once you get down here, you're going to have a few ads, and then we're going to be fighting the boss. So ads first. Going to have a few tucked over here. Nice to see some heavy drops so I can get some shots on the boss when I need to. Okay, sorry about that weird little glitch in the middle there, guys. Just a weird little hiccup on my computer, but no big deal. All right, so for the boss, always try and make each one of your shots count. He's going to be kind of a slow walker, as long as he doesn't go charging to you, but those explosions will definitely work. And this right here is why you're going to want some void weapon of some kind. for these servitors because they're going to continually spawn. And if you can't manage something that's doing a lot of shielding, it is just rough altogether. Now, this is going to be your kind of safe hide spot to manage some of your ads. There's going to be quite a few of them, and they will continually spawn along with the other stuff. Now, a good rocket launcher is going to make quicker work of him if you can do it. So, got him tagged in the face over there. Back off for a second, let that explode. You guys see the numbers that happen. They're pretty drastic. That's why that lasting impression is actually not too shabby. I'm really starting to dig that one, actually. You can tag them up close and you won't kill yourself, and then you can get out of there. I can just put some shots into him. Okay. Now, we got a decent amount of damage on him. I got to make sure no other servitors or no other champions spawn. I honestly don't remember if there is a champion in here. And if you die, it's not the end of the world. Promise you. You've got enough lives, probably you'll be okay. And just use this area as cover. Back and forth a little bit. I wouldn't go into his room, per se. It gets a little spicy in there. Yeah, the fact that you have no more champions, you probably do on Master. I would bet you money you will on Master difficulty. And that's the thing about the Lost Sectors. If you're going through, they rotate. Every day, you'll see one Lost Sector be Legend and one be Master. And then the next day, the one that was Legend is now Master, and the new one is Legend. They go through this rotation. So that's why if you get to one like 24 hours after I put up this video, you gotta wait till it comes back in rotation. But as for like chess pieces, since that's what you guys are probably going for, all you gotta do is just catch it every like 4 days and figure out which Lost Sector has it, and you'll be okay. Every so often the AI is just like, no, I'm not gonna do anything, it's fine. Alright, now's a good time for me to go for a shot. Walking pretty directly toward me, fairly slow. Almost dead. And again, Master difficulty, you do want to make sure you kill all the champions. It's just a big old whiff. Hey, first death. Not a flawless run, but if you're going for a flawless run, just don't do that last 2 seconds and you'll be fine. Almost there, though. I could honestly just use my super and finish him up, but I just try and give you guys the options of when and where to use your specific supers. If he kneels down, that is about the perfect time to tag him. Now, if for some reason he ate my rocket, I don't know why. He did, though. I could just as easily pull out my sniper rifle and probably finish him off in a couple shots. There we go. Finish off your ads, and we will see if we get lucky for a chest roll today. But yeah, this is why, again, having those shielded enemies gets to be really fun. Because he's just the servitor situation makes things kind of difficult. Okay, gonna have a few extra guys. They did not get the memo the fight was over. They're just like, we are coming for him, and we're gonna get him. Remember, if you're at the timer at 15 minutes and you die before you open the chest, you will not get the loot. So if you need to, you know, pop a super to go open the chest, if you feel like you're in a bit of a pinch, do it. I just like to clear out the ad so it's a bit calmer. All right, let's see if we're lucky today. Not on this one, but you guys can sell platinum rewards, so that is all the champions that you will see in this one. Let's get back to Orbit and finish this up. So that is a wrap. As you guys can tell, Overload champions, those are probably going to be the trickier ones for sure. Barrier's not as big of a deal, but the Overload backup is nice. So Surge Detectors using an Arc subclass, that's one of those reasons I do that. Also, there's the one Arc Captain, so that way your weapons are a little more choice. Couple heavy shanks, mostly void servitors. Hopefully this all makes sense for you guys, and hopefully you guys get some of those exotic chest pieces. You can farm this one fairly quickly once you get a good run. So hopefully you guys have success. If you do, comment below which exotic you get, and let me know if you guys get some crazy epic stat rolls. I want to see those as well. Thank you all very much. Have an awesome one. If you guys are new to the channel, drop a like below if you enjoyed this video. Leave a comment if you have questions or other builds that you use. I always like to hear other builds so I can try those out later on. Also, if you guys are new, hit that subscribe button and the alert bell. That way you guys will know when new videos come from me, and also when I go live streaming on YouTube. I also stream over on twitch.tv/ebontis, and I'm on Twitter doing who knows what over there. So thank you guys very much. I'll see you soon. Have a good weekend.